different comfortable to someone else. So what do you need right now to be comfortable? We are going to be here just a couple of minutes. Started seated. So if you want to grab any of those props, let the eyes shut. So for tonight's practice, a blanket, 2 blocks. If you have myofascial balls, there'll be an option for those later down the line. And just start to arrive here. And taking these next couple of minutes to notice how the body feels today. And as the eyes may be shut or gently focus, can you soften around the jaw? And then if you are seated, maybe add a little forward and back movement, a little side to side movement. And then finding your center and a nice upright spine. You notice the quality of the breath. Filling the belly and fully emptying out. Let's do that 2 more times. Filling the belly up. Then emptying out the breath. 1 more. Filling up on the inhale. And emptying out as you exhale fully. And gently draw the hands together in front of your heart. Honor or celebrating just being here in your body, in this moment, in this breath. And gently bow your head in. After your next exhale, release the hands, open the eyes. And grab your blanket or towel. If you don't have one of those, then you can always use your yoga mat. But we're going to take the blanket and roll it up. The tighter and wider you make it may feel more comfortable, or if you need less of a roll, just unloosen it or unroll it so it loosens. And we're going to lie back on it. So I'm going to place it long ways on the mat, and I'm just going to have my ribs and my head on it. Now, if your neck is uncomfortable, you might have enough where you can fold that blanket up a little bit. So you almost make a pillow with the top end of the blanket. If you don't need that for your head, then lie with the blanket along the spine and the arms open. So we're going to start with the chest opener tonight. And tonight's practice is, it's kind of like a mood lifter. It's sort of how I think about it. Sometimes January when it's cold and coming down from the holidays and settling into a new year, just thought it'd be good to work with the upper body and do a lot of breath-centered movement. So I'll give you a lot of options as we go. We'll do some counting, like 4 count in, 4 out, some Kapalabhati, and hopefully finish with enough time to continue on with a metta meditation. So as you lie here, really let the head and shoulders be supported. The legs can be however you want them to be, in whatever way feels the most comfortable tonight. And we'll be here just another several breaths. So once again, settling in. The first third of practice will be warming up the upper body, lower body, a little bit of core. And then the next third will come into like a repetitive flow to really get us into the breath and movement. And then we'll wind it down and definitely end with a very similar pose to this, just opening up the chest. Letting the day, letting the pressures, let that just all slide down the arms. Return to the ground or the earth. Your next exhale, or as you're ready over the next couple of breaths, we'll go on and roll to your side. Take your time coming up, and we're gonna come up and sit on our feet. So if that is not accessible, then you can grab one of your blocks and maybe slide that underneath you so you can sit on the block. or you're just sitting back right on the heels. And then place the hands on the thighs, and we're gonna do like cat and cow like motions, but I want you to really think about this coming through the whole spine. And we'll start initially with an inhale as we send the chest forward, the bum goes back. So thinking about cow pose, just with the spine. And then as you exhale, start to lengthen from the tailbone, belly draws back, rounding the back starts to dome, the shoulders follow, maybe the head drops as well. So like cat pose. And then keep moving like that on your own and try not to rush it. Like really think of with the breath, starting from the base of the spine as you move through your cow pose. And then rounding the spine slowly, almost as if you could do it vertebrae by vertebrae. And as you start to get the hang of it, notice if you can keep the ribs a little bit more still and make it more really about the spine. So there's a little bit of that expansion and contraction in the ribs, but see if you can slow it down enough. You're really controlling it around the muscles of the spine and rippling like a wave, rolling in and rolling out. Finding your rhythm, your breath. Let's do one more here, one more full round. At the very bottom of your exhale, release and come on to hands and knees. So from hands and knees, we're going to start to move from supported Vasiskasana into child's pose. So we'll start on the right side. I'm going to stack my right shoulder over my right wrist, and I turn out my right hand a little bit. I find that's a way easier position, turning that right hand out and then kicking my right foot out to the side as well. Left foot reaches behind me. You can keep that left foot coming flat on the ground, or as your left arm reaches up, lift that left leg up. Lengthen the tailbone towards your foot and lengthen the crown of the head towards the front of the room. Just start to notice if you can lift the ribs up. Your exhale, release left hand down and come into a version of child's pose. Maybe your head won't reach all the way, but maybe take the knees wider and extend the hips back towards the heels. As you inhale, let's switch sides now to the left side. Kick the left foot out to the side. Stack shoulder over wrist. Press down, lift up the sides of the ribs, and move into your version of the left-sided Vasiskasana. Good. Finding movement in two directions as you start to engage here and drawing shoulder blades towards one another. And your exhale takes you into child's pose. So we're going to do this probably 6 to 8 more times, depending on your pace, switching back to the right side. And from that right side supported Vasiskasana, you'll make your way back slow and full of breath as you exhale it out to child's pose. And if you'd like, as you shift into the left side, maybe you count 4 counts in on your inhale, moving through and then pausing in the posture. And then 4 counts out for your exhale into child's pose. So 4 count in, supported Vasiskasana, 4 counts out, child's pose. Remember, it can be a slow and mellow 4 count, and it also could be a pretty rapid 4 count, depending on the energy that you need tonight. And if you're practicing this on a recording and you're doing it, say, in the morning, and you want to start to like really pump up that energy, maybe do it quicker or count them much quicker. If you feel like you're needing some more grounding, you've done enough of quickness through the day, then slow it down by how you work with the breath to navigate and steer these choices. And we'll do 2 more, whatever round you're on, finish that out whenever you get there, and you'll do 1 more after that. So it would be 1 more fully through left and right after you finish the rounds you're on. Good for me, I'm on my left side, last side. And we'll meet up in a brief child's pose. I'll let us all catch up there. Just taking a few extra breaths in the version of child's pose. If you need to take a break with the arms, maybe bend the elbows and reach the hands behind you in a reverse prayer option. Letting the chest descend, sense of the shoulder blades drawing towards one another without adding any tension around the neck. Your next inhale, lift your body up and come on all the way up. We're going to come on up to a wide-legged stance, and however you need to do to see me, or if it's good enough just hearing me, we're going to come through a skater variation. And so I'm going to start with my right knee bent and my right feet turned out about 45 degrees. And I'm going to go from the right to the left, and then the upper right, straighten my legs, and the upper left as well. And then back to the right, back to the left skater, straight leg reach, straight leg reach. And then as I inhale, I'm going to draw cactus arms, and just my upper body takes like a back bend, not my lower back. Good. And so we'll start to do it. Skater, skater, corner, corner, and then take the upper body back bend. And now see if you could do it on the breath. Maybe you even want to do the Kapalabhati as you move, and then the breath here. So it becomes like, inhale the big wide cactus pose. Skater, skater, up, up, pause in that big wide cactus. And then keep moving again, finding a rhythm. Do 4 more. And if it's too wide for you with the legs, you can always bring them in a little closer. Starting to get some heat going in the body. And this will be our last one. And exhale, release. Let's come briefly into Prasarita Padottanasana, so turn both toes in. Just be mindful of how the backs of the legs feel at this part of the practice. So bending the knees a little bit if you need to, or a lot, and then finding an equal balance in the foot. So not just pressing into the inner foot, but equally pressing into the outer foot as you let your head descend. Your next inhale, look halfway up. Belly draws towards spine, hands to the hips, and lift everything up. And turn towards the front of your mat and come on up to Tadasana. So from Tadasana, we're going to move into a dolphin pose. And we've been throwing dolphin in a little more regularly. So see where you're at with dolphin pose, and we can start to build up some stamina. So I'm going to come onto my forearms, and I'm going to clasp my hands. I like to draw my pinky fingers and tuck them in. And I'm going to make like a tripod with my hands. I'm going to make sure my elbows are not winging out beyond my shoulders. So I'm making this tripod, and I'm going to walk my knees back a little bit. I'm going to tuck my toes. And to get a sense of where I'm going, if you're familiar with dolphin, go on and lift up into that. But I'm going to start to lift my knees up and start to see how that feels to bear the weight. And then I'm going to start to straighten my legs as much as feels comfortable. Let the shoulders gently drop down, hug the shoulders in, and I'm going to slightly gaze in between my arms. Now, often my belly will want to drop, or I'll want to do like a cow pose with my back. I want to draw my belly to the spine so my spine is more neutral and my chest draws through the arms to my legs. Now, if you're all good there and you want to start adding on 5 count inhale and a 5 count exhale, at any point, come down to child's and take a breath. We're going to be here another minute. So see what you need, and if working with the 5 count in and 5 count out. If you'd like to add a little bit more challenge, if you're familiar and would like to add a little bit more, you'll take the right leg up for a bunch of breaths, and then you'll take the left leg up for a bunch of breaths. But seeing how can you be here? You don't need to add anything else. You be comfortable with what is. If you are up for a challenge or if you need more rest, you listen to either of those voices and fully commit to being in whatever your body needs here. Bottom of your next exhale. Go on and bring your hands and bring your knees down, sorry. And we'll come to a brief child's pose, maybe reaching the arms out here, getting a nice stretch, letting the head fall between the arms. And then lifting yourself up. And we're going to grab a block. So if you have a block or a foam roller, we're going to briefly come into some myofascial release here. So we'll start on our right side. We're going to do this one where we work into the lats, getting into the big muscle on the back that goes right into the armpit area. So I've got the block on its second height, and I'm on my right elbow, that Cleopatra pose, resting my right head and my right hand, or in more of like a fist. And I've got that block, the bottom edge, more in the center of the armpit, and the top edge into the arm and the tricep. And then within that, find the range that works for you. Maybe you need to scooch it down a little bit. Maybe you want to roll a little further back. For me, I tend to feel like I need a lot more massage type or release on that as I shift my weight back a little. And if you know the front of your chest is a little bit of a doozy, maybe you even just want to immediately just roll forward, and that front edge of the block kind of goes into the pectoralis, the front chest muscles, just past the armpit. Make some fists with my hands. So you choose whether you feel like leaning forward into the front of the chest would help right now, or you choose whether rolling back, or maybe you do a combination of just rolling forward and back. We'll be here another 3 to 4 breaths. If you're moving, maybe just be still for the last breath or two. Letting the hips settle and the head settle. When we get to the very bottom of your next exhale, we're going to gently lift up, and let's switch sides. So you can just roll right over, and you'll switch sides again. General area is the bottom of the block is kind of right towards the bottom of my armpit, and we're in the center a little bit. And the top of the block is going more into my tricep area. And then within that, I adjust it and see where there is a pressure that I can breathe with, but still know I'm alive. And again, maybe you play first with just rolling forward and back. And if you find a spot you want to linger, let yourself settle into that variation. With letting the block apply some pressure and compression to the tissues. Notice if your breath is still consistent with breathing in fully and breathing out fully. Filling up the belly, filling up the ribs, filling up the chest, and letting all that go. One more full round here, breathing. And then we'll release, but we'll first just go onto our back. Super brief, one of those pauses, just to notice in between how that feels. Even though we don't have the blanket underneath us, like when we started, maybe it feels like there's a bit more of a chest opening. The front of the chest is rolling back a little bit more maybe, or the breath feels a little different. And at the bottom of your next exhale, go on and roll to your side. And we'll come on up to standing. And we'll start to add a bit more flow here. We'll do some repetition and flow. And find our way back to dolphin in a little bit. All right, so coming to the front of your mat, have your blocks nearby if you're going to need them, especially for some low lunges. And as you're ready, let's go on and let's start with the left foot back. We'll come right into a lunge. We'll come left foot back, right foot forward. I'm not sure if that's what I just said, but left foot back, right foot forward. So I'm starting in a high lunge. I'm going to inhale, lift my arms up and briefly come into cactus. Now exhale, I'm going to straighten my legs and then drop my arms alongside my body. Let's do that one more time just to feel it out. High lunge, arms lift up into cactus, belly draws back. And then exhale, I'm going to straighten my legs. My back heel is lifted off the ground as my arms come alongside the body. Now let's see if we can do this 6 count in. Inhale, 6 count coming through this crescent cactus. And then exhale is straight legs, arms drop to the count of 6. Good. Inhale as you come into your crescent cactus, lift the chest. Hold the breath at the top, maybe start to straighten, and exhale, the arms come down, count of 6. Good. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, we start to straighten and lower the arms. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, the count of 6. I don't want to count for you so that you can be moving in your own pace. Pause for 3 if that's comfortable. And exhale, that count of 6. Good. That'll be our last one. We'll meet in Tadasana, pushing down the lift off. Tadasana. We'll come to the other side. Right foot back, left foot forward. Of course, you could work with this maybe with the back knee down and then just straightening the front leg if high lunge is not where you want to be tonight. If you're in high lunge or crescent, go on and inhale, lift up. We'll just feel it out. So come on into your cactus lift and then start to straighten the legs and drop the arms. Then we'll do one more time just to get a feel for pressing the whole front foot down. Cactus lift, ribs back. And then the exhale is straight leg, arms drop. Now, if you want to add the 6 count in, sometimes I even like to bend my back knee a little bit as I then straighten everything else out. Press in cactus, maybe you add that little dip in the back leg. Exhale as you're ready, count to 6, fully empty out. Inhale as you're ready, filling up to the count of 6, maybe holding the breath for a count of 3. And exhaling as you're ready, the count of 6. Do one more full round whenever you get there. We'll meet in Tadasana. Take your time. And then we'll come together for a flow. So just take your time. If you need to pause the recording, if you're recording, or if you need to catch up, just take your time. Since I'm not able to see everybody, just know that you'll catch up as you're ready. If you're ready, let's inhale, arms lift up. Then our exhale is going to take us to Uttanasana. Fold the body forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, let's come to a low lunge, left leg back, right leg forward. This time take the back knee down and we'll pause here. We'll just go slow through the first round and we'll start to add some repetition through this next series. So as you inhale, let's lift the arms up, the leg stays down. And now see if you can lift the back leg up. You've got both legs starting to straighten, and then the arms come alongside the body again and we fly the upper body forward. Good. From here, back foot comes down, reverse your warrior. Just feeling out as we get there. And now we're gonna come into a twisted lunge. So we're gonna spiral the arms down, left arm down, and then turn towards the front of my mat again. My right arm is gonna lift up into revolve low lunge, back knee up. And then I'm gonna take my back knee down and come into Vasiskasana. I'm gonna take that right leg all the way back. If you wanna come into full Vasiskasana, you can work at getting that bottom leg out and then stacking in the top leg, or you'll work in the modified version. The exhale, we'll bring both hands down and let's take downward facing dog. Maybe our first downward dog of the night. Good, just feeling, noticing. We worked into the upper body a bit. How does that feel after that much? Finally getting into down dog. Good, bend your knees. Now we're gonna take opposite leg forward. So let's take left leg forward, right leg back. Let's come to our low lunge. So here we are, low lunge. Let's pause here, just starting to feel it out, back leg down. I've got my hands on the floor. Sometimes though, I really prefer to have those blocks lift me up a little bit. Now I'm gonna start to lift up to a high lunge. I'm gonna lift my arms up if you haven't already, straighten my front leg, and gently start to fold the body forward as my arms come down alongside the body. My inhale is going to take me into reverse warrior. And then I'm going to exhale into that revolved low lunge. Right hand comes down to the block or the floor, opening the front of the chest again. And now finding your version of the supported Vasiskasana, right knee down, or you start to extend, bottom leg stack. Top leg and coming into Vasiskasana, lifting the sides of the ribs up. Save enough energy to come back, downward facing dog. Good, from downward facing dog, let's come into, as you breathe in, whenever you're ready to inhale, come forward to a high push-up. Reach in 2 directions, then come a little more forward on the toes, lower onto your belly. Lower everything down onto your belly. Reach the arms behind you. Let your head come down briefly so the neck can come to more neutral first. Pubic bone down, legs down. Good, start to roll the shoulders back or the upper back. Start to roll the upper back. Shoulders roll behind you. And then inhale, as you're already getting a bit of a lift, lift the head up. Pubic bone down, legs down, feet down. The upper body's doing the work here. And then exhale, let it go. Take your feet a little bit wider if that's comfortable, and we'll lift the whole body now. Pubic bone down, tops of the legs down, and then start to lift the lower legs, lift the upper body. Lengthening through the low back, but it's really taking us in the upper back, doing the work. Drawing the chest back, legs back. And exhale, let it go. Release the hands, and we'll meet up in downward facing dog. Breath draws in. Breath empties fully out. Good. Let's take that right leg forward, left leg back, and back to your low lunge. Now start to just linger with this breath. Inhale, we'll lift the arms up in your low lunge. Exhale, back knee lifts. We start to fold the body forward. Arms come alongside the body. Good. Full exhale here. Full inhale as you're ready. Reverse warrior. Your exhale, we come into that extended low lunge. Left hand down, left knee down, right arm up. Good. Now coming into your version of Vasiskasana. Maybe both knees come down, set up so you can roll to the left. Start to stack the feet. Lift everything up or come to your supported version. Save some energy to come back, plank, and then downward facing dog. Left leg will come forward, right knee down. Inhale, lift the body up. Exhale, hips drop. Inhale, the arms lift up, start to straighten the legs. Lift the upper body, and then we exhale, fold and drop the arms. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended low lunge. Good, now getting ready for your Vasiskasana. If you want to do full Vasiskasana, I find it easier to come to the knees. If you're doing supported, then you don't need to come to both knees. Whichever version, lift the sides of the waist up, press down to lift up. Save some energy to come back to that plank just for downward facing dog. One full breath in and one full breath out. Last time through, right leg forward, come to your low lunge. Inhale, everything starts to lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, back foot down, reverse your warrior. Exhale, revolve the arms, kick the back heel up, revolve low lunge. Good, start to find your version of Vasiskasana. Setting up, pressing down, hugging the ribs towards your armpit as you also lift the ribs up, tailbone towards your heels, chest opens. Be sure to save some of that energy to come back to plank, downward facing dog. Left leg forward, this is our last go through. Find your low lunge. And then begin on the breath to lift the body up as you inhale. High lunge, arms up. Exhale as we come through Tadasana, folding forward. Good. Reverse your warrior through your inhale. Extended. And then revolve low lunge as we start to flow through and linger here. And now I'm getting ready to set up for my Vasiskasana. Right side. Downward facing dog. Move through a vinyasa here. So your choice, really think about or feel, visualize where you want to go. Maybe you're ready for child. Maybe you're ready to move through a plank into the belly. Taking cobra or upward facing dog. Mindful of the back. And minding your way to downward facing dog or child's pose. Noticing here the effects. Let your next inhale bring you up. Now we're going to come to one more dolphin pose. If you're done with that, I'm going to encourage you to maybe stick with, if you feel like you don't want to do those heat building poses, maybe do puppy pose. You can bring my hips are up, and then my hips are moving back. My head is down, but my arms are more in a down dog, or you can bring your elbows down for reverse namaste version. If you're ready to come into a dolphin, we're gonna do the same thing with the hands, getting the shoulders more, the elbows more in line with the shoulders. And then coming up into dolphin pose here. Belly draws towards spine, so the chest can move through the arms. Be here just about 5 to 6 breaths. I'm just noticing if there's any tension happening in the neck. See if you can press a little bit more down into the arms. Maybe bend your knees a little bit more. A sense of pressing down, but also drawing through. One more full in. And one more full exhale out. And keeping a nice quality of awareness here in the pose as you gently drop the knees. And we're going to come onto our belly. I'm going to do an opener here. So I'm going to take and I'll sit up just to show you. I'm going to take my left arm and put it about at a 90-degree angle and about at shoulder height. You might find a little bit higher. If you're feeling pain, you might often find it's just too low. So I would go with about shoulder height, about this 90-degree, and then figure out what works for you in there. And then at some point, we're going to straighten the arm. So I'll give you some options here. So we're starting with the left. Got my left arm situated. I'm going to place my left ear down. And I'm going to start to roll to my left side. And then just maybe stack my knees, or maybe my right foot reaches behind me and hovers or reaches the ground. And you should be feeling a stretch through the front of the chest. And this is one of those, if this is not for you for whatever reason, then you have foam roller or myofascial release ball. You can go on and slide those between the shoulder blades. You can lie it back on the ground and slide those between your shoulder blades. And if you're with me here in this opener, you want to shake it up a little bit. We won't be here much longer, but we're going to take the left arm, I'm going to roll out a little bit, and I'm going to extend my arm straight, so my left arm straight. I'm going to start to roll back behind me. I'm going to bring my knee in, and then I'm reaching behind for my right ankle, and I'm getting here a calf stretch, and a hamstring stretch, a quad stretch. That's what I meant to say. I went through my calf and my hamstring, and then my quad is really what I meant to say. I'm going to try to keep my knees more parallel, but see what you need. Play around with what feels good. Maybe keeping that open feels a little better. This is my tighter side, so I'm not sure anything will feel better, but there's a discerning level of feeling okay. And I'm going to slowly release that out. And back to my belly. Pause on my belly. And then I fully exhale the breath out. And then I come to the other side. So once again, I'm coming to a cactus type arm. Shoulder, about shoulder height. And then I am going to roll onto my right side. Keeping it's really my right temple. I can't get my right ear down, but my right temple. My left hand is supporting me, and I'm going to just stack my legs as I get a nice gentle stretch through the right front chest. Now you can stay here, or if you want to roll out a little bit, Straighten that right arm. Maybe you have to move away from your wall. And then find a position for that arm as I roll back. And then I like to bring that left knee in a little bit and then reach towards the front of the ankle as I roll onto my right side and get a bit more for the chest and arm, front of the hip, front of the leg. And even kicking that left foot back behind you. Letting the effort also be matched with a sense of ease. And slowly releasing it out. Finding a comfortable resting position. Very briefly.
I have something.
And then rolling to their side again and coming up. So we're going to grab our blanket and blocks if you have them, and myofascial balls if you have them. And I'm going to give you 3 options here, and then from there we'll go into Shavasana after this. So the first option is going to be fish pose with your blocks. If you have the 2 blocks, I'm setting them both up on the second height. You may find you want that block, the top block down maybe for the first height, but I am going to, one option is coming into fish pose supported on the blocks. My head is resting, my chin is up here a little bit, so opening up in the throat. The blocks are at the base of my shoulders. And if this is too much in the shoulders, then we'll have another option. But this is one option. My legs are extended. If you need to, you could bend them and let the knees knock. So supported Tadasana or fish pose. My palms are up. Now that's one option. If you don't have the blocks, you can also do it. You won't need the blanket just yet, but you can do it supported with the arms. So the hands are palms down just under my bum. And my elbows are bent and I'm coming into a traditional Vasiskasana with the head back. So those are those 2. And if you're in a one and rolled it, and the other one would be just grabbing the myofascial balls if you have them and placing them the very top, so your shoulders. You can use a block or your blanket to put under your hips. And then those myofascial balls just going to be just at the tops of your shoulders, close right around the spine, or maybe just a couple inches wider. And then we'll just pause here. We'll be here another couple of breaths, another couple of minutes rather. So wherever you are, just check in, make sure you still want to stay there for another 2 minutes or so. And if you want to modify anything, if you were in fish and you're ready to come out and you want to grab your balls and place them right at the tops of the shoulders. And just finding your medicine tonight. And as we move through the month, this will become more familiar, or if you get the recording, you know, you'll feel out and have the sense of what you need on the different occasions that you come to the practice. In whatever position you are in, can you really let yourself arrive here? Maybe notice what feels comfortable or what feels easy. Even just a sense of celebration Just be here. Content that superpower that you hold right now is your breath and your attention. You already have it. Your breath and your attention. Listening into and settling into that superpower for another, say, 5 to 6 breaths here. Whenever you get through the next round or two, we'll start to make our way into Shavasana. So finding your way maybe using a prop to support you, a blanket to be warmer. And we'll settle into Shavasana. Letting the effort melt. Letting the breath. And just do a natural full inhale and a natural full exhale. Over the next couple of breaths, take your time, letting the transitions be just as important as the poses themselves. Then you'll begin to make your way out of Shavasana. Whether that's lingering on your side for a full breath in and out, or moving the body in a certain way. And then beginning to transition up to a comfortable seat. Again, comfortable is for you what it is for you tonight. So maybe utilizing the props in a way that you feel supported, or even backing up to a wall, or maybe staying in Shavasana if that's really where you feel most called to be. And here in our comfortable seat, we're going to move through a metta meditation, finding this meditation of loving kindness where we reach out to ourselves and to others. And so what we'll do is we'll say the loving kindness meditation towards ourselves, and then towards someone we love, then towards an acquaintance, someone that you see regularly but don't know. Then we'll send it towards someone that we are having maybe some issues with, or some difficulties. And then last to all beings. And the words that we'll use, and sometimes I like to inhale, I say it as I draw in, and then I let the exhale fully empty me out. And then I say the next one. So there's 4 lines. One is, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, and may I be at ease. And so we'll extend that to ourselves, and then I'll remind us of the next positions, and you can actually say to yourself that person's name or description of them as you fit their name or them into these 4 blessings. So let's start with closing the eyes and letting out a big exhale. Drawing the breath in. May I be happy, starting with yourself. And don't forget to exhale fully out. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. Next, we'll go on to someone that just fills our heart, that we feel a boundless sense of love and celebration for. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be safe. May they be at ease. Next, someone that is an acquaintance that you see regularly, but maybe you don't even know their name. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be safe. May they be at ease. Now, someone that you have issues with, or maybe that communication is hard to, or there's some boundaries that are crossed, or whatever it is, something that is difficult, a person that is difficult for you right now, without thinking about it too much, or why, or rationalizing it, just someone that is difficult. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be safe. May they live with ease. Now we'll send it out to all beings. May they be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be at ease. Linger here for just a few rounds of breath, regular breathing, just letting the body steep in the metta meditation. And just being with whatever felt comfortable and uncomfortable. Being with the sense of taking good care of ourselves and extending that out to all beings. And as you're ready, please bring the hands together in front of your heart. I thank you for your practice and I thank you for your presence here. Namaste.